wanted to talk about this whole controversy surrounding vape-related lung disease and deaths linked to vaping. Before I start, I want to say I don't vape, so I'm not defending vapes. I do smoke weed, and I do have a dab pen that I use THC oil in, so that's related to this, and you'll figure out how in just a minute. So, if you watch the news or have a phone, you've probably seen the articles or heard the stories about 6, and at this point I think it's more, deaths related to lung disease that were linked to vaping, and specifically this is being blamed on flavored vape cartridges, and a lawsuit is being filed against Juul or something for advertising for kids or something, and several state and city governments have already banned flavored vape juices and stuff. And this is ridiculous. I don't know what that was. But no, this is ridiculous. They took really swift action against this. When it was at like 6 deaths, and it's silly. It's propaganda, really. Probably paid for by Big Tobacco, because vaping has started taking a lot of their profit because people switched from cigarettes to vaping. So, what is actually killing these people, these minors mostly, or young adults mostly, is not vape juice, and it's especially not flavored vape juice. What it is black market THC oil. Vaped in, actually I have a cartridge around here somewhere. They're in cartridges that look like this, and it's THC oil. Generally a high quality one will be about 90% THC oil, probably more, and you vape them from whatever thing you have to heat them up. And what is happening is these people are buying black market ones. Mine come from California, so yeah, so they're probably pretty much safe, but the black market ones are not regulated, or they're not being regulated, so they're not safe. And what they have in them is vitamin E acetate, and in a normal vape cartridge this might be as much as 2%, probably a lot less, and this is used to dissolve the THC. But in these unregulated ones it can be as much as 40%, and at these levels, when it's burned at a high temperature, it is producing a toxin, and it is giving them lung disease. So no, it is not about vape juices at all. And that the fact that there has been such swift action by governments really it should be attributed to Big Tobacco spending a lot of money to do this so that they can get their profits back from cigarettes. But really the facts are that vaping isn't killing people, and cigarettes kill thousands and thousands of people, and Big Tobacco has put millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into this and made probably billions out of it. But lung cancer related to cigarettes kill thousands of people every year. In comparison to, maybe 12 people dying from laced THC carts, black market THC carts. And what this is doing, what the blame is doing, is, number one, making more profit for Big Tobacco because they're banning vapes, and number two, it's going to affect the legalization of marijuana. Once it comes out that it's THC carts doing this, they're going to blame THC, they're going to blame all marijuana for this, and you'll find that it's not happening with legal THC carts. It's specifically carts that aren't being regulated. So what needs to happen is the THC has to be regulated, and for it to be regulated it has to become legal. So yeah, it's not vaping is not killing people. But what I do want to say is that it doesn't make vaping healthy, that's for sure, and it doesn't mean it's good for kids to be vaping, and it's good for kids to be, doing weed or anything. Um, I smoked weed as a minor, and that was, one thing. But some kids, I knew kids who smoked every single day and or vaped weed, THC, every single day. And that is unhealthy. And that anything you do like that is unhealthy, and it is an addiction. But you also see minors who've never smoked a cigarette picking up vapes and picking up Juuls and getting very addicted to nicotine through that. And that is a problem. But it's not necessarily Juul's fault, except for that it's just way too easy for kids to get their hands on them. But it's also really easy for kids to get their hands on cigarettes. So, I don't know if there is a way to keep minors away from it, because, I mean, look at alcohol. It's already, you can't buy it unless you're 21, and you can get it easy, So, it's ridiculous to blame the vape companies and to blame vape juice and to start banning vaping and vape juices because of these 6 deaths, maybe as many as 12 deaths. It's ridiculous. It's not. It's propaganda. It's all lies. It is not the fault of the vapes. It is black market, and we all know black market isn't safe anyway. I mean, what MDMA you're gonna get that's clean is gonna be a lot less dangerous than laced MDMA you pick up at a party somewhere. It's not about the product. I mean, even though obviously this drug isn't safe, the laced version is going to be a whole lot more dangerous, so isn't it easier to just regulate it than anything? In countries and states where these things are being regulated instead of criminalized, it's a lot safer. There are a lot less deaths related to it, so why not? Anyway, that's all I had to really say about that. Just look into how many deaths are caused by cigarettes every year. I mean, and how are those illegal? Big Tobacco, I'm watching you.